friends. I'm Karen, and this is the Family Food for Moms podcast. We're talking about inspiration for family cooking and dining. Today, we're going to be talking about Swiss comfort foods. Swiss comfort food is like no other, and Switzerland is so well known for its cheese and its chocolate. In the book by that famous dentist who toured the world, Weston Price, he talks about Swiss people many generations ago who lived on healthy, thick bread and cheese in the mountains and how healthy their teeth were. And so much about Swiss cheese, European cheese, is so good for us. And they have amazing comfort foods made from cheese like Swiss fondue, raclette. So we're going to talk about some of those. And then the chocolate, of course, is a wonderful snack, especially Swiss chocolate. It just tastes the best. It's so good. And I love the cute little chocolates that they decorate with Swiss chalets and Swiss snowy mountain scenes. So you don't have to cook chocolate, and it's definitely a Swiss comfort food. So let's start by talking about cheese fondue. It's an amazing comfort food. Usually you'll use a combination of two cheeses. That would be Gruyere and Emmental. But before I say that, a lot of grocery stores carry ready-made fondue in a box that you simply heat, and that is definitely easier to use. So look out for that in the cheese section. So then a cup of Gruyere, a cup of Emmental, and then some garlic, some wine, and sometimes you can add a bit of kirsch if you like. So let me explain in more detail how to make the fondue. So you grate your cheese and then you heat, say, a cup of wine in a fondue pot. It's the best way to heat it evenly and keep it melted. So once the wine is almost boiling, you add the cheese by handfuls and you stir in a figure 8. You also should add at this point a tablespoon of either lemon juice or kirsch. And then once you've added all your cheese, you add your seasoning. So a little bit of nutmeg, a little bit of salt. It's very simple, really. Also, it's important at the beginning to rub your pot with garlic. It gives it a great flavor. So you would add your cup of Gruyere, cup of Emmentaler to the pot and mix it in figure 8 until it's melted, and then season. And then you would dip your bread chunks in. It's great to have slightly hardened bread with a soft center, like some kind of crust, or you can toast your bread, thick slices, and then break those up. We love to have cheese fondue for date nights. Then rosti. Everybody loves rosti. It's very similar to hash browns. Crispy outside, soft buttery inside. So for that, you would have either chopped or grated potatoes. And then you squeeze out the moisture and you season it well with salt and pepper. Heat your butter, and then you press them into flat cakes and cook until they're golden and crispy on both sides. These work great for breakfasts and as a side for other meals. You can add a bit of Parmigiano Reggiano cheese for extra flavor, almost like potato fritters. Then an amazing dish called Alplermagronen, which is like Swiss alpine macaroni cheese. So this includes potatoes and onions. So you're going to start by cooking up your potatoes. You dice them small and then cook them with your onion until they're tender. First cook the potatoes for a bit and then add the onion. So you want that potato-onion mix to be good and tender. Then you're going to cook up your pasta in some pasta water as usual. Then you're going to layer your pasta and then your potato onion mix and then the grated cheese. You pour in cream and milk and then you bake it until it's melty and bubbling. And surprisingly, you can serve with applesauce on the side, which is traditional and actually goes really well. So Google a recipe for Alplermagronen. Then there's an amazing dish, which is a leek and potato stew. I'm not going to try and say the Swiss name. So this has got creamy leeks, potatoes, and then smoky sausage. So you saute the leeks and onions in butter, you add your diced potatoes, and you cover with your chicken broth and then simmer until soft. And then you mash them very lightly, kind of a rustic result, and you top with your cooked sausage pieces. Great comfort food. Then there's a Zurich style creamy veal or chicken meal. Zurich is in Switzerland. So this one, you are going to saute your strips of chicken or veal in butter and then set it aside. Then you're going to cook your onions and mushrooms and deglaze with a bit of white wine. Then you're going to add a little cream and a little Dijon mustard and simmer, and then you return your meat to the pan. So this is probably similar to a beef stroganoff, although slightly different flavors. And you can serve that over rice or mashed potato or over vegetables. Then hot chocolate, the Swiss style. Swiss hot chocolate is amazing as a comfort food. It's rich, it's very chocolatey, velvety. So you're going to heat your milk and cream in about a 2-to-1 ratio. So 2 portions of milk, 2 parts milk to 1 part cream. Then you're going to slowly whisk in your chopped dark chocolate, and it melts as you whisk it in. So you whisk it until smooth. Then you just add a pinch of salt or vanilla powder. And then there we have it. You can add some shaved chocolate on the top, but it's so delicious. And I'm sure you've heard of raclette. This is a different kind of melted cheese to a fondue. You use the melted alpine cheese and you pour it over warm potatoes or vegetables. So you boil or steam your potatoes and your veg, or you bake them in the oven, make them taste good. Then you're going to arrange your potatoes, your vegetables, maybe pickled onions or gherkins, some cured meats, etc. Then you use a raclette grill to melt your cheese, or a non-stick pan, and you kind of pour the melted cheese over the potatoes and vegetables and eat it with the other things. If you don't have raclette cheese, you can even use an aged cheddar or a Gruyere. They work well. So the trick is to be able to melt the cheese without it cooking or becoming crisp. So it works well in a fondue pot or a ceramic pot or just over a low heat. And then once it's melted, you sort of pour it and slide it over the potato and vegetables. Amazing. Then Swiss platters, Swiss cheese platters. It's hard to have Swiss comfort food without including cheese. So having a bread and cheese platter or a charcuterie platter with Swiss cheeses is an amazing meal. Emmentaler is a medium hard yellow cheese, often called Swiss cheese. It's got big holes in it. Gruyere, one of Switzerland's most famous cheeses, a very strong flavor, and it's also great in fondue. Appenzeller is a flavorful cheese. It's got a special herbal brine that gives it that strong smell. Raclette cheese for melting over potatoes. And there are many other delicious Swiss cheeses. And then a few different kinds of bread and butter, and that's all you need sliced on the platter. You could do some other elements, some fruit, etc., to go with your board. But the cheese and bread is the best part, and then everybody grabs and helps themselves. And then, of course, a chocolate fondue. Use some good quality 70% or dark chocolate, melt it with a tiny bit of cream, and then you have your dipping items, your cherries, slices of banana, slices of apple, marshmallows. Those work well. And everybody can have a little bowl of chocolate, or you can have a central chocolate place, although that's messy. And you dip and twirl and have your chocolate fondue. That's an amazing end to a meal. And it's somehow exciting and interesting because it's unusual and different. I asked my husband if he can think of any other Swiss comfort foods. And he said, Swiss roll. So, of course, if you can find those, that's amazing. You can get the small ones or a big Swiss roll. It's like cake with amazing filling. But I've never made one from scratch. Then Swiss muesli. So this is different to granola in that it's not baked. So unbaked breakfast cereal, you combine rolled oats, wheat or barley flakes, and then dried fruit and nuts. And it's very easy to make, and then you serve it with milk or yogurt. And you can even cook it on the stovetop like oats porridge, although the idea is to have the raw muesli. Then schnitzel, a German food that is also used in Switzerland, eaten in Switzerland. So crispy crumbed meat. and then often a cheesy alpine twist. So you'll use your veal or chicken, and then you season it, you dip it in the flour and the egg and coat it in breadcrumbs, and then you pan fry it or bake it in the oven until it's golden and crisp. And then you top with a slice of Gruyere or some mushroom cream sauce or cheesy sauce on top. Then lastly, one of my favorite desserts, Swiss focused desserts, would be a Nuss Torte. So that's a Swiss walnut tart. So you would make a pie crust, and then you mix walnuts that you've chopped with cream and sugar and honey and butter. And then you simmer that until it's thickened, almost like a pecan pie filling. And then you fill the crust, you top with another layer of dough, and you bake it. And that's an amazing dessert. So some slightly unusual foods that we aren't used to, but if you Google them, I'm sure you'll enjoy making them. If you find a good recipe, great to try something new and different. So if any of those appeal to you, I encourage you to try them. But you should definitely try the cheese fondue and the chocolate fondue. Those are the absolute best. Thank you for listening today. See you next time.